Hey guys, CJ, Cracker Jacks Outdoors. I'm doing a touch-up on my rain barrel setup and a little bit on the survival garden and what I'm trying to do right over here in these two little spots right here. But for you who watched my first video, you saw that I had a little spigot right like this set up for the overflow, and needless to say, with that rain I had that first night, it did not work. So went out, picked up just some 2-inch flex PVC connection and a 10-foot, a 90, and I ran that out. It wasn't quite long enough on the overflow, so I had to put a little gutter catcher there to put it out a little bit farther. Took a hose clamp and screened up over the top because I am planning on putting fish in here to help with the algae and the mosquito problem. Also, what I've done to adjust it is I came in and did a flow between right here, and I tried to do it the best way I could think of, and that was just to use some male end hose repair kit and a small piece of hose to do it, but I couldn't get it to seal right, and I still haven't. So it's got a really slow leak. I tried a crap load of Teflon tape and that seemed to work, so I'm just going to use a whole lot more Teflon tape and some rubber washers once I actually get these drained. But for you who don't realize how much rain you can get in a rain barrel, this is a 55 and a 30, so put them together I probably get about 75 gallons. Between 75 and 80 gallons with where the overflow lines up at, pretty much right at the top of the smaller barrel. And I got that in a 1/4 inch of rain. I've got this hose here hooked up to just a regular spigot valve, and that goes over to where I've got my sunflowers planted at. And I had it hooked up with the hose to the ball valve on the side, and I got about half full on the barrel. I got pretty good pressure out of it. But with the spigot, even when the barrel was full, I wasn't even getting the pressure I got with the ball valve. So once I drain these and run the water out, I'm going to switch that spigot out for a ball valve. And I did say this has a slow leak right now. It's Sunday. It rained Thursday night. Wednesday night. It rained really bad Wednesday night and filled these up. And I've still got about right here with water, so it is a really slow leak. I got this PVC hooked up in a bit of an irrigation right here. I don't know how well the camera will pick up the water, but you just turn the valve, let it fill up. Yeah, the camera's not picking up the water too well, but you can see it. Now if it's getting a little bit too far out, you can just lower the flow down to try to get more of the area covered that you want to. So I just kind of let it run a little bit at full, and then I just kind of slow it down in between to make sure I get a good coverage for the water. But that right there is an easy as hell way to water a 4x4 square. It covers almost the whole thing, and it'll easily give it enough to drink. I'm not going to water it right now because it's noon. As for the spigot, it takes a whole lot more to get this thing full open. And like I said, I'm not getting really anything for pressure out of this. So we come over here, flows down the hose, and you got my sunflowers. And something interesting that happened in the last week, got about so far 12, maybe 13 stalks of corn popping up. And that is from 2 different seed packets I bought at Walmart. 20-cent seed packets I bought for, well, 20-cent seed packets. I bought 2 for 40 cents. and I planted them about a week apart. They did not grow at all until I started giving that part of the garden rainwater. Over here, give me a second to shut this valve off. There we go. These are from my survival boxes. That is the only thing I have planted in here. We have some of the Black Beauty zucchini, and right there, these two watermelon just came up this morning. That one came up a couple of days ago. And then just coming up today, I really don't think the camera will be able to pick it up. Probably not. I'm gonna try though. I gotta find it. Should be about right there. Zoom in real damn slow. There. Got a tomato coming up here, and one underneath the other cage, and those are those Ace 55 tomatoes that I got in the welcome box for survival boxes. I had had stuff planted in here for over a month. Nothing popped up until it started getting rainwater. We are on city water at my house, and the garden has been doing horrible on city water. As soon as I start putting rainwater on it, things start to grow. So we're going to be rigging up more rain barrels around the house, and I will try to get the construction of one set of those, or at least one barrel in the sequence on video. That way I can show you guys how I do it and how I'm connecting everything. But that is an interesting thing to point out. You know, city water, I could not get these seeds to sprout. They wouldn't. I tried a couple of times, a couple weeks apart, and now everything's coming up at the same time just about. So if you're on city water and are having trouble gardening, try some rainwater. But you gotta check, because some cities are stupid and made it illegal to harvest rainwater. I don't think mine is one of those cities. I haven't really looked. That way I can play stupid. Although putting that on camera right now, yeah, that negated that whole point. But I will keep you all updated on this. Over here, I'm actually going to try some companion planting, because this so far is not from my survival boxes. So I might just keep that going with the way it's going and do some companion gardening from other seeds that I pick up at the store. And I want to try to keep this one as just survival box seeds. And that way I can see how they do. And hopefully I can get stuff to grow. But like what I was talking about the tomatoes, I started planting the tomatoes 2 months ago. I never had anything sprout up until now that it's been getting rainwater. But I would like to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. Please like, subscribe, constructive criticism, whatever you want, just keep it clean, no vulgarity. I don't want to have to go deleting comments. I do read comments, guys. Thanks again. Bye.